Welcome to the Hashimoto's Doctor Podcast. You're now part of a growing community of people determined to take their health back through education and self-empowerment. But because of the healthcare system today, we don't have access to the types of healthcare that we want. So we have to do things differently. We've got to do things smarter, and we do that by becoming our own advocates. This podcast will give you the perspective and thoughts of one of the world's leading Hashimoto's doctors. So let's get started. Hi everyone, Dr. Shook here. I hope you're doing well today. In today's podcast, I want to share something with you that you've probably never thought about or considered, but it's a really important point, especially when we're trying to heal our bodies and we're trying to get the most from the food that we're eating. Okay, so one of the things that you should be mindful of is that you should not eat when you're stressed. Okay, so how many people stress eat, right? They get under stress, they get stressed, and what do? They go eat a bunch of carbs, right? They eat carbs, they eat a lot of sugar, or they eat carbs and it spikes sugar, and it makes them feel better, right? They feel they have this more, kind of gives you this euphoric, calming, it releases endorphins. It makes you feel good. You get this shift in your hormones that kind of medicates the stress, right? It kind of helps to put it at ease. However, one of the problems with this is that when you become stressed, the thing that occurs is that your body, when you have a stress response, your body produces cortisol and adrenaline. Okay, adrenaline or epinephrine. The reason that you don't want to eat when you're under stress is because epinephrine does some very interesting things to your body. So when you have a stress response, you're under stress, your stress hormones go up. And what that does to your body is that puts you in a fight or flight mode, that's your sympathetic nervous system, which we call the fight or flight nervous system, right? It puts you in fight or, that's the sympathetic nervous system. It's what we call the fight or flight mode, okay? So when you're in this when you've stimulated the sympathetic nervous system, when you're in this fight or flight mode, which occurs with stress, then your body, what happens is several things happen physiologically. Your abdominal vessels, so everything, that's your core of your body, your gut, your chest, everything there, the vessels constrict and they shunt and push blood to your extremities. They push blood, they vasoconstrict, so they constrict and they shunt blood to your skeletal muscle, to the large muscles of your body. Now, why would they do that? Well, you think about it. If you are presented with a threat or a stressor, your body's going to go into fight or flight. So you're either going to fight or run, right? So there's a lion chasing you. So what do you want to do? Do you want to have extra muscle energy and oxygen in your muscles so you can run and take evasive action? Do you want your pupils to dilate, your airways to open up so you can get more oxygen and air? And do you want a spike in adrenaline so that you have this high availability of energy real quick so you can try to get away? Yeah, that's what I want if I'm being chased by a lion. I want every chance to get away, right? Well, whenever you're in an everyday situation, or well, let me say what this does first. So that it'd be great if you're running from a lion, but it's terrible if you're trying to digest food, because when you're in. So the opposite of your fight or flight mode is called rest and digest mode. Okay, so your involuntary nervous system is the autonomic nervous system. It's got these two different branches: the sympathetic, which is fight or flight, and it's got this parasympathetic, which is rest and digest. So when you're eating, you want that rest and digest, the parasympathetic nervous system, to be more dominant, because that's when you're going to have digestive enzymes flowing and your bowel function's going to work better. Everything's going to be working so that you can digest food, break it down, and absorb it. Well, guess what? You can't have both at the same time. So you really don't want to eat food when you're stressed and you're in that sympathetically dominant state. Because if you do, you're not going to have good digestion. You're not going to have good enzyme release. You're not going to have good gut motility, stomach acid production, or any of those things because you're sympathetically driven. You're in that fight or flight mode, and you need to be in the rest and digest, the parasympathetic state. So it's not a good idea to eat food when you're stressed because you're not going to digest the food well. You're not going to absorb the nutrients. You're not going to have good, you're going to have, undigested food. You may have constipation. You may have bacterial overgrowth issues because there are more undigested fibers that can ferment in the gut. You may inflame the gut more. You may have more undigested food proteins that can leak through the gut wall and stimulate an immune response. There's a lot of things that are negative consequences there. So I want you to just, be more aware of this. Take inventory of yourself so that you can be more conscientious of your state, right? Are you being sympathetically driven? Is it sympathetically dominant right now? Are you, is this an ideal time or situation for you to eat? Or is it going to be healthy digestion? So it's something to keep in mind, right? I mean, it really can make a difference in a lot of the things I just mentioned. The GI function, but it could also have implications with immune function and autoimmunity. So we want to be more conscientious, right? Don't sit down in front of the TV and watch a horror movie and try to eat, or something suspenseful, like where you're going to stimulate a sympathetic response. Just slow things down a little bit. Don't eat under stress because it can create some problems. It's some things that we don't often think about, and this can be very significant when trying to improve autoimmunity and improve your health. So anyway, Dr. Shook, hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember, it's my mission to change one person's life at a time. I know if I can help you, we'll have a positive impact on your family, your community, and ultimately we can change the world. And I want you to be better educated. I want you to be your own advocate so that you can be a better partner with your healthcare providers, and so that you can really have good, vibrant health. And try to do it as naturally as possible. If there's anything we can do for you, don't hesitate to reach out to us at drbradshuk.com. You can go to our website, and if you need help, if you're stuck, if you need someone to help you with really trying to figure out what's specifically happening with you, so there's not so much trial and error, so that you can get faster results faster, I'll be more than happy to try to help you with that. If we're a good fit, you can just go to our website and check it out, reach out to us, let us know, and we will do everything that we can to help you. But I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Look forward to hanging out with you again on the next podcast. Thanks. Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed hanging out behind the scenes with Dr. Shook. You can also talk with and learn from Dr. Shook through Facebook Live on our Facebook page at the Office of Dr. Brad Shook. Don't forget, you can also get access to our videos, guidebooks, and thyroid programs at www.drbradshuk.com. Oh yeah, and don't forget one more thing. We can change the world one person, one family, and one community at a time. Until next time, remember, today is your day, and no one will tell you who you are and what you can be.